I'm Chris Wilkinson, Careers Advisor here at York at the University. Congratulations on students getting into the university here. We are involved. We come to the USU Fair, which is, I think, on the Saturday of Freshers Week. It tends to be, not always, but tends to be. And there it's sort of a profile raising session, I suppose. So I'd recommend students come to that to find out a bit more about the Careers Service. We also do careers induction talks during the first week, which will help students to get a feel for what they can find out about and how they can locate the Careers Service and everything that we offer, which I'm going to talk about a bit later. So they're the main two things that we get involved with when you first arrive as a student here. The Interactive Careers Service is the Careers Service website. You can access that via the university website, and I recommend as a student joining the university to have a look at that and have a look at it before the student comes, which you should be able to access most information. The Interactive Careers Service, however, is a portal that you have to register for, and I'd recommend students do that as soon as they arrive at the university. That's something that you'll be referred to, I would imagine, at the Freshers' Fair. The Interactive Careers Service, once you've registered, it will give you sort of an opening to lots of different opportunities. The main things that you'll find on there would be careers events that are happening throughout Term 1. There may be some Term 2 and Term 3 events for your first year, but predominantly Term 1 events. And I'd really recommend that a student looks through those. They should all be on there, they will all be on there when the student arrives. So you can pick and choose things that might be relevant to you. Sometimes things that you may be just interested in but aren't quite sure about, I'd recommend that you go along to those just to see. It's a good opportunity to network with people. That means just talking to people really who come to present those events. The other things that you can access on the Interactive Careers Service are appointment bookings. So if a student wants to come to see a careers advisor, like myself, in the Careers Service, which is located on the central campus, I would recommend the student books in through that process. That's the way they have to do it. You book on the day of the appointment without getting into too much detail, and they're 20-minute appointments initially. And we tend to see people maybe early on to talk about their sort of planning ideas, their strategy for where they might want to go after university. But also we tend to use them for things like mock interviews when you maybe have some work experience that you need to have an interview for, or an internship you might be going for maybe during towards the end of your first year potentially. So make sure you have a look at the Interactive Careers Service, register on it first, and then you can book in through that system. Once you've registered on the Careers Service website, have a look around that, but I would also recommend having a look at the Careers Service website generally. It highlights some of the key opportunities that you can access through the Careers Service. There are many and varied opportunities. There are work experience opportunities, part-time job adverts, so part-time job adverts. We've had some interns in fairly recently developing that quite considerably, because I appreciate students often have to work as well as studying to fund their study. But there are also job opportunities that will help you with career thoughts as well. So you can access through the Interactive Careers Service and through the Careers Service website specifically. There's also something called the Student Internship Bureau, which the university have invested heavily in recently, and the team that's based in the Careers Service is going out locally to try and find out about opportunities that are available, work opportunities, internships available. And most of those happen in the summer term, so for a first year student that will be towards the end of their first year. They will mostly be advertised around about the April time of their first year, student's first year, so probably towards the end of Term 2, but obviously I would suggest having a look at the website when you arrive to see what it says about the Student Internship Bureau in case there are any early opportunities. We've had, I think, approximately about 50 opportunities over the summer, this summer and the previous summer, and they come across, they go across many varied different areas of work. We also have an employability award, and that effectively means a programme that we actually began at the University of York. I think we were one of the first universities to do this, called the York Award, and that is aimed at students to help them to develop their work experience thoughts, to develop links to employers via a programme of events that happen throughout the university, and they're called York Award events. There is information on the Career Service website under the tab York Award, and they cover lots of different areas such as negotiation skills through to British Sign Language courses, counselling skills through to intellectual property, law of ideas event. So if you're interested in becoming a lawyer, for example, that would be something you would go to as part of the York Award. It's quite a rigorous process that you have to apply through an application form, and then you have an interview to get the York Award. And on the panel of the interviews are members of the university and also employers, and it's trying to give students an insight into what it would take to get a work experience position, internship, or a graduate or even non-graduate position. So it's a really good programme to get involved with, and it's highly recognised by employers to have the York Award on your CV. Once a student has gone to the Freshers' Fair, has looked at the Career Service website and gone to some of the careers induction talks in week one, they will be encouraged to get involved with something called the employability tutorial. It's a relatively new development. It covers three main sections. The first section is called About Me, which is not about me, it's to effectively help students think about themselves. So maybe looking at some personality profiling, looking at values that you might have, and appreciate, having arrived at university, it might be early days for that, but it's still worth thinking about what kind of things you're looking for out of your university career and your future career. So the first section is to help you sort of do a bit of self-analysis, I guess, in relation to your own personality. The next stage, following on from the About Me section, is understanding my options. And the focus of that really is to target particular departments. So each department has their own version of the employability tutorial. So for economic students, it will particularly look at what do they tend to go on to do after university. This is taken from information that's gathered nationally through University Career Services and also through our own statistic gathering process for the university. And it'll give you some pointers about what an economic student is likely to go on to do. That's not to narrow down your options to say that you must follow that route. It's to try and help students think about some of the possibilities and maybe investigate those. What we're trying to encourage is the fact that you can really do anything with any degree, but what you need to try and do is think about what's available and how does that fit in with your own personality type. The third stage is really moving forward from the self-analysis and the options available to you, and that's to start making some approaches to organisations, be it to investigate further study at other institutions or still at York, or to look at how to apply for work experience and how to move forward with the next steps. So the idea behind it is really start off you on your career journey from day one at university alongside your academic studies, to try and run in parallel. And we're trying to encourage students to fill out an employability plan, which is a document which highlights two things really: skills that you've gained from your academic studies and skills that you're going to gain or have gained from your extracurricular activities. We're open during term time from Monday to Friday, 10 till 5, and we are based in the main part of Central Campus, next to the Berwick Saul building. So if students want to access us, please come along to meet us. Finally, it's really important to enjoy yourself at university, and as a first year student, obviously it'll be new to you, and I wouldn't want to take that away from anybody, but I think it's really important, without sounding too boring, to think about what you're going to be doing at the end of your university career. It might seem a long way away as a student arriving at university, but without wishing your life away, time will pass pretty quickly. So you don't want to be ending up at the end of your third year not really having thought about anything. So we'd really recommend that you engage as much as possible and try and enjoy it as well. A lot of these events are pretty good fun when you go to them, and speaking to people, finding out about what they do, from an employer perspective, for example, is a really useful exercise, not least because it helps your skills of talking to people, but it also helps you to find out about what might be out there available to you, and see it as an exciting process if you can. I hope you have a great time at York, and we're looking forward to seeing you when you arrive at the university.